Hello, Lynn, Tony, Wendy, Shalom, Jazz, Shalom. Okay, 5. Oh, my car just made a weird noise. Okay, that's all right. Okay, I'm a little out of it today because we've been home and schedules are off. But isn't it funny how I'm such a creature of habit a lot. And hold on, I'm gonna put you down for a second. And when I don't do my normal routine, my head can't wrap itself around what's going on. So I got to get my head in the game. However, on that note, when you're out of your routine and schedule, your focus shifts. That shifts. SHIFS. Okay, one second. That might not work. Okay, here we go. Your focus shifts. So I was home with my daughter, and she's okay now. And it was more quiet. I didn't have that much work to do because I just wasn't at work, which was fine. Oh, these skies are like streaked up to the hilt. It's annoying. Damn those X's. That's what I say. My daughter says, go away, Satan. So that's what we're going to say. So when my focus shifts from just the mundane everyday, some clarity came about. And so even though I felt out of it because I was off schedule, maybe that's a good thing because I started hearing and noticing repetition with different words or thoughts. So like I said yesterday, I had Elijah on my mind. So that was one thing that was not leaving my mind. So there's a reason I have to focus on that. And then I've been using the words like precious and gem and things like that to keep things close to us that are of importance, like knowing the truth. And it's, like not casting your pearls before swine. So ever since I said that, I've been using that word gem a lot. And then my husband was helping my daughter with something on her Chromebook, and he used the word gem. I'm like, oh, there it is again. And then I was talking to somebody else, and they were talking about precious stones and gems. So things like that started happening yesterday, and this has actually been happening the past 4 months, where if I was thinking of a word, sometimes someone else would say it, or things would actually happen. So one time I was talking about fireworks and literal and it's not that unusual in Indiana because they're legal here, but it's fireworks started to go off like that in that moment, and they went off for like an hour, and then just different things I've talked about, and then it's mentioned, out of nowhere with someone that would have no idea otherwise. Like my students would say things that I'd been talking about. It's all about that wavelength, and that resonance. And so my point in all of that is, and this might be a shorter talk, my point is, first, I'm always asking why. What's the purpose of this? Because there's a reason for everything, and those things matter. And if I was back in the church, they'd probably say, I'm behind something super slow. I didn't get a chance to pass. Okay. When we hear things like that repetitiously, we know, I think the Holy Spirit's trying to get our attention, my attention. And actually, that word gem started a couple weeks ago, so that's interesting too. So he's trying to get our attention, and I don't think he's trying to get our attention in small ways to make larger ways. Oh, something else that happened yesterday was I was listening to Quantum of Conscience, and he was talking about the Titanic, and my daughter was watching a movie in the other room, and they started singing that song, the Celine Dion song from the Titanic. These characters were just like, it was goofy. And I'm like, and so in my right ear, I heard that song, and in my left ear, I hear Matt talking about the Titanic. So things like that. And I was like, okay, this must be a day where something's shifting. Like I said, my focus shift, and I felt like there was something. It was almost trippy because not in a bad way, but like in a way like, whoa, like a lot of things are like these moving pieces. And so, you know, just the Titanic and Celine Dion, that song from the movie, you know, that's like nothing. That's not a gem. That's not precious. But it made me think of that. And I've had that with other people where they had said things. And I was talking, Skull would mention that happened to him the other day too. And I love it, but also it makes me think, what do I need to focus on? For sure, that word gem and precious and special, those types of things with truth and things going on in my life personally, I feel like that has significance. So I'll just keep that for myself as my little gem. But overall, start listening. But what was yesterday's date? The 7th? Or today's the 7th? Yeah, today's the 7th. So yesterday was the 6th. I don't know. I'm not all into numbers all the time. Sometimes I am, but only in certain contexts. So, yes. So along with the theme of resonance and being aware, that's what I put out there, and that's what's happening. So I'll keep seeking that out, and you may be aware too of things. I know a lot of you are aware of those things anyways. So let's just keep being aware, because it was a good thing for me to stay home, believe me. And I look forward to the winter break, because then I'll have more moments of clarity. One thing about teaching that I don't like is you are constantly busy and you do not have time to focus on the things that are really important. And that's one thing I struggle with going into the classroom again, is that I want to teach children what is important, but you do so many mundane things in a school day. It's, you know, and in between trying to speak the truth to them and teach the truth rather than the lies, it's a big mess on top of all their, you know, worldly habits and their struggles. So anyway, I'm not going to rant about that. So I'm trying to think if I had any other instances where there were connections. Like I said, the past 4 or 5 months, there definitely has been different, different wordings that I said, and then they connected with something else someone said, and then they told me, or, you know, two people from separate places that don't even know each other said the same thing to me. I mentioned the verse about in Proverbs that if we say just kidding, but in reality it means something, and we can't just keep saying that phrase, just kidding. I saw that someone posted that exact verse. And I think part of it is, I'm not going to go completely, everything's so magical and spiritual. What it is also in reality is our phones and the social media platforms do listen in on things. So it's not like it's just Big Brother watching, you know, and I take those and I chuck them out the window. But the things like words between people, that's significant. So I always tell my children, if you hear something 2 or 3 times, that is not wanting to get your attention, to learn something. So I want them at least to take that, because they don't always pay attention to what's around them. They pay attention to themselves. So yeah, that's all I have. You can comment on what you've heard recently. You can let me know how you found clarity in things, in messages, because there is a purpose. I think we're here to tell others the truth and share and be an encouragement and become stronger in those things. So that's important. So let's see what happens today. I'll let you know. Blessings. Bye bye. Have a good day.